the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And Brooklyn is where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Nets will be going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, what a year they're having. They've run up the best record in the NBA with some absolutely flawless performances. They've been a fun team to watch over the first half of the season.
Let's begin listening to the Minnesota Timberwolves. At point
guard. 2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, Barclays Center. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. Today's game continues this Brooklyn Nets homestand. Challenging part of the schedule, and this is where they need to buckle down and take care of business.
And it's going to be a tough stretch of games here coming up. I know they're excited for it, and it's going to serve as a real benchmark for this group to find out exactly where they are in this league.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. Brooks out there with Jimmy Butler. And it's Muhammad in at the 3. Clark, tonight in this matchup, young teams, not a lot of experience. And there are tough things for these young players to pick up as they make their journey, I know, through the NBA.
You're really right on top of it there, Kevin, because young players tend to be more emotional, and that doesn't always serve you well. Being poised and calm and confident is what you see from veteran players. Understanding game situations and having the presence of mind to be aware in all situations is part of what sometimes isn't prevalent with young players.
Russell with it. He's coming off a 25-point game against Orlando.
And also 3 steals, so he showed some grit and determination on the defensive side.
And the basket by Kilpatrick.
Kevin, he didn't hesitate that time. The D gave him a step, and he just pulled up and drained the 3.
Right side Gibson. Butler in the corner. Towns dishes to Gibson, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
Yes, he did. Having a big who can locate the open man the way Towns does puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Towns with the steal to the paint, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Now here's Butler, coming off a solid outing against the Lakers. Here's Muhammad. Here's Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Hey, scoring off misses, that's easy buckets. Something Towns has the length and tenacity to do on a regular basis.
Nets trail by 5. It's Carroll on the wing. Dishes to Mozgov. Shoots over Towns. And again, it's the Nets missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Muhammad's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, I think this is an area where Muhammad can improve, quite honestly, Kevin. An increase in range, I think, would help set the rest of his game up nicely.
Now, here is Russell. And we know he can score. He's averaging around 21.5 points a game. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. There's the pick. Just 5 on the clock. Can they get it? That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Yep, the pick and pop. Russell plays that one perfectly.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Kenny Atkinson.
Well, Kevin, I talked to him about the shot blockers they face in this matchup. He said if we can play a little more up-tempo and score before their bigs can recover and get set, that'll help. Also, putting them on the move in half-court sets, whether ball screens or screen and roll, can help as well. We'll see if his team executes his game plan, Kevin.
That's great, David. Thanks. They've got their hands full against a team that plays such tough D.
And that's why you got to be flexible in terms of your game plan, particularly on the offensive end. They might have to try a few different approaches till they find one that works.
For sure. I mean, they have to be ready to adapt. The only way to break down this defense is to show them a lot of different looks.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Pass to Kilpatrick. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Kilpatrick's got 5.
Bit of an oversized playmaking guard allows Russell to see over and around defenders. Great look there.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Here's Kilpatrick. He doesn't hit that one. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Their last game, a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance. Felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
Timeout called the Nets. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Nets.
And no doubt they relied upon that three-point shot to provide a big chunk of their scoring. That's been a trend in the modern NBA, and they took that philosophy and ran with it.
Drills it from outside.
And you can see he's got a little bounce in his step. 3 out of 4 to start. And a big move for D'Angelo Russell this past offseason. Traded from the Lakers to Brooklyn. Now one of the major building blocks of this team that has embraced him wholeheartedly.
Here is Russell following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Pass to Mozgov. The Nets working the ball around now. Knocks down the 3-ball.
And that's his role. That's where Carroll's at his best, the catch and shoot.
Brooks kicks to Towns. Gibson against Booker. Gibson passes to Muhammad. Makes it off the glass. Muhammad's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Now here's Booker. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Love seeing Booker work on that mid-range jumper, Kevin. Another shot he has seamlessly worked into his quiver of shots.
Here's Gibson. Back to Towns. He kicks it to Gibson. Muhammad on the wing. There's the 3. Booker pulls it in.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
And the pass to Carroll. From outside, off the mark. Minnesota leading by 6. From 15 feet away. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Russell dishes to Booker. Russell kicks to Carroll. Mozgov a screen on Muhammad. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. That's on Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, and the junkyard dog just showing his aggressiveness attacking the rack. And really, the first 3 or 4 seasons of his career, DeMarre Carroll was kind of a fringe rotation player. I think once his three-point shooting
took form in Atlanta, that's when his value as a player skyrocketed.
The Nets making a switch here. LeVert's checked in. Jones checked in for Minnesota. And Muhammad kicks to Gibson. Now here's Butler. T right on him. Passes to Muhammad. Back to Butler. The dish now to Gibson. Rebounded by the Nets. And for Damari Carroll, able to hit the three, but it all starts for him, Greg, at the defensive end.
Yeah, he can be an intimidator on that side of the ball, and with his lockdown mentality defensively, he only needs to provide complementary scoring to be a key contributor.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul goes against Brooklyn.
You know, despite his youth, Kevin, Towns sees the big picture. I mean, gets points any way you can, and we'll see if he can cash in at the line here.
The first one falls.
You know, you watch Karl Anthony Towns, and he just epitomizes the future of the NBA big man. Extremely versatile, gets it done inside and outside at both ends of the floor, and has a fluidity to his game that belies his size.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for Minnesota. Crawford comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. Here's Hollis Jefferson. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here's Whitehead, guarded by Crawford. Whitehead's shot is off. And with Towns and him being the future of the NBA big men, the numbers he's put up at a young age are staggering. Clark just looks like a guard out there sometimes.
Well, there's a good reason for that, Kevin. You know, Towns actually played guard before a big growth spurt. I think that clearly helped with his skills, and that's why he's so comfortable creating. It's a perfect situation for a guy like him to revolutionize what a low block player can do.
Timeout called. The Nets. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves.
Yeah, faced off twice last season, and it was a split between the two teams.
Well, you know, both of these teams know and understand when they face off, it's a very winnable game for either one of them.
Here's a peek now at the 2K leaderboard. This year, these teams have made the most of their offensive rebounds. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
One of the better rebounding teams in the league, especially on the offensive end. They never take that for granted in terms of whether the shot's going in.
And the Nets with possession here. Trailing by 10. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Over Jang. And the rejection by Jang.
And this is something you'd like to see more of from Jang, given his size and wingspan.
A nice shot by LeVert.
Hey, I tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
So it's Minnesota now, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Here's Dinwiddie, defended by Jones. Leans from outside. A nice shot by LeVert. LeVert's got 5.
It's been a very efficient first quarter for him. He's creating good opportunities and converting those that he creates.
Well, their pass it to Jones. The feed now to Jang. Timberwolves passing it around. Outside, Jones. And Jang kicks to Crawford. Jang dishes to Towns. Excellent D there from Mozgov.
Boy, incredible effort on defense. Refusing to give him an uncontested layup. Nothing easy.
Here's Dinwiddie, defended by Jones. Dinwiddie passes to Mozgov. That one falls, coming off Dinwiddie's feet. And now just a 5-point Timberwolves lead.
Tell you what, if you let him get his feet set, Mozgov can bury that jumper. And he has nice rhythm with it, too. Oh, I love watching him flush it home, showing how easily he can get off the ground and bang it.
And Clark, one thing you have to love about Towns is just how self-aware and humble he is. He's always looking to hone his game, and even when he puts up a big night, he can look at the tape and find something that he's got to improve on.
Yeah, that's admirable. His humility and his selflessness, being aware of what's going on, where he needs to get better, and that's part of why I think he's a leader on this team. He'll own his mistakes, and he also is owning his personal development and improvement. So the future's bright for this guy.
Now here's Mozgov. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Orlando.
Kudos to him for his energy, especially on the glass where he was an absolute beast.
They get it back. Hollis Jefferson. The shot is good off the backboard. Hollis Jefferson's got his first points of the night. Out to the wing. Back to Crawford. Now here's Jang. Guarded closer. Score the basket. His second of 2 attempts.
Though Jang has developed a pretty good outside shot, this is where you want him operating, in the painted area.
Mozgov, a screen on Jones. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
And let's see some of the numbers here on Jamal Crawford. Really been a key contributor over the past month. 8th in steals, and his sweet shooting stroke places him in the top 15 league-wide in three-point percentage. You've got to play him tight.
And talk about being top 10 in steals. I love his jumping the passing lanes and then stealing away your dribble. Here's LeVert. Drops in the breakaway layup. LeVert's got 7. And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. We've got 1:18 left in the first quarter of the game. Jones kicks to Zhang. He dishes it to Towns. Back to Zhang. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 4 assists now tonight.
Nice pass there. Towns with the intelligence to operate one step ahead of the defense there.
Here's Dinwiddie. He had 15 points last outing. Here's Whitehead. And the Nets, another 3.
And a lot of scoring here early on. This is the type of game the fans love to see.
Tell you what, Greg, it's getting to the point where you assume every shot is going to go down. I mean, nobody's missing out there.
Here's Jang following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. Here's Towns. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Mahinmi's checked in for the Timberwolves. Brooklyn Nets come into this one after a win against the Magic.
You know what? It's a fine line between attacking but yet staying under control, and they did, and that's why they shot such a high percentage.
Yeah, they pushed the pace, and typically you get high-quality shots when you do that. I thought they were terrific all game, Greg.
Now here's Jones. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Can't hit the turnaround jumper. And so it's Minnesota heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The second quarter getting ready to start up. Let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for Minnesota.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding.
Timberwolves leading by 7. On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Jimmy Butler is out there with Jang. Then it's Jones. And it's Crawford, and it's Mahinmi in at the center, locking down the middle. Here's Whitehead. Oh, good with the triple.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
And it's Mahinmi finishing it off.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
There's Whitehead, guarded by Crawford. A floater and the rejection by Mahimi. Fast break, Minnesota. Crawford kicks to Jones. The kick outside to Butler. Feeds it to Jang. Dishes it to Mahimi. And it's Mahimi finishing it off.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right.
Yes, indeedy. Well done. And, you know, the Nets can't sell players on winning just yet, but they've created a top-notch infrastructure in the meantime, and they have a gleaming new practice facility, better accommodations for players' families during the game. Those little things are big things and make a difference.
Jones kicks to Zhang. And finished off by Zhang.
If you're guarding Zhang, you know he doesn't mind being challenged. I mean, he's able to convert through physical play. As a matter of fact, the rougher it is, I think the more he likes it.
You talk about the top-notch facilities for the Nets. You figure it signals their intent to be a top-notch franchise.
Well, you've got to invest in the development, and that means facilities and people. You've got to take care of your players and their families. That's important. And players really take note of those kinds of things. And if you're going to do it well, you've got to do those things right.
Mahimi a screen. Zhang dishes to Butler. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Here's Jones, and Jones slams it home.
Well, there's the unselfishness. Zhang is a more natural finisher than setup man, but more important, he always thinks team first.
Nets trail by 15.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Timeout called, the Nets. You know, Clark, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves unveiled this new logo they're sporting this season. They felt it was time for an update, and you have to say it looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, most teams in the NBA want to mix their logo up every so often to keep it modern and up to date and fresh. The Wolves have a young group and felt it was the right time to re-examine the logo, and I can't argue with them. Sometimes a little change like that can pay big dividends.
Some changes for Minnesota. Taj Gibson's checked in for Gorgie Dang. Muhammad comes in for Jimmy Butler, and Brooks subbed in for Jones. Knocks it loose. Gibson with the steal. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Gibson's got 16.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Kicks to Carroll. Nets passing it around. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. The Nets shooting their third free throw shot of the game. And the technical free throw is good. Clark, you were a strong free throw shooter when you played. Why do some big men have such a hard time being at least serviceable at the free throw line?
Well, I'm not as big as some of the biggest guys that have the most trouble. Typically, you see guys north of 6'8", 6'9", struggling tremendously from the line in general. And because of that, I think sometimes it's the mechanics of shooting the ball, and big hands can sometimes be a hindrance to that. Oftentimes, it's a matter of how much do you work at it and how soon do you start working at it. A lot of times, big guys tend to focus on their post moves and scoring the ball close to the bucket and not as much as shooting. But you're seeing more and more big guys with sweet strokes, and I think it's a matter of, again, basic fundamentals, mechanics, and then putting in hours and hours and hours of work on it. Resplendent release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
Brooks kicks to Gibson. Here's Mahimi. And Mahimi with the stuff.
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check, another log on the fire.
Well, they're scorching right now. I mean, the defense has to be concerned. Nothing they're doing is stopping this run.
Kilpatrick passes to Carroll. Booker a screen on Gibson. Carroll dishes to Booker. The putback. The shot, no good. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
5 to shoot. It's stolen by Carroll. Over to the wing. A nice shot by LeVert. LeVert's got 9.
Got to give LeVert credit. I mean, not allowing the defense to shut him down, using his length to get his shots off inside. Well done.
Here's Mahimi, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 3 assists now in this one. Nets trail by 18. Here's Kilpatrick. A 14-point game for him in the win against Orlando. Fades and shoots. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. 8 points for him.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
And Brooks, here we go. He feeds it to Mahimi. Over Booker. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Brooklyn's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. Russell from long range. Minnesota with the rebound. Gibson's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Mahimi kicks to Gibson. And that goes out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Mahimi. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. He's putting up about 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And really just excellent numbers. I like what we've been seeing from him across the board.
I do too. I mean, he's playing with much more focus now and a much higher level of intensity.
Muhammad, the pass to Crawford. 6 to shoot. Aldridge dishes to Gibson. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Nets trail by 18. There's a good screen. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession.
And looking now at the numbers for Muhammad, the past month has been surreal. 12th in steals, and his playmaking ability, unquestioned, one of the top 15 assist men in our league.
As we've seen, he's a difficult defender to bring the ball up against. Quick feet, quick hands, always looking to force a mistake.
This is exactly what Booker does. Overpowers the opponent. He has no fear when he's inside like that.
And Muhammad kicks to Gibson, and out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. And now a glance at the 2K leaderboard with a list of the NBA's top assist men over the past 10 games. The 4th spot held by Aaron Brooks.
And those games have seen him dropping more dimes than you might have thought possible.
And for D'Angelo Russell, the former number 2 overall pick in 2015 out of Ohio State. Craig, in your opinion, what makes him so special as a prospect?
I think it's all about his skill level. I mean, the league loves players who can handle, pass, and shoot. And he can do all 3 at an elite level. And he's not just a stationary shooter. He can hit pull-ups, a very good in-between game as well. Let's just see if he can continue his maturation process.
Oh, I tell you, he has been lights out. Sadly, they're still behind. He needs his guys to step up.
Towns, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. And you look at Karis LeVert, 6'7", about 200 pounds. Clark, what's his best position?
I think he's just a player. Combo guard is probably what you would categorize him as. He can handle it, he can pass. He's slim, but I think he can play some small forward too. I mean, this is a guy that I think could be comfortable at 1, 2, or 3 as he continues to develop.
Booker with the screen for Russell inside, and the dunk by Booker.
And, you know, this is exactly why Booker's teammates like having him screen for them. He's really good at getting them open.
And here's Towns. He had a career game last time out. Bucket after bucket. Aldridge the pass to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Russell kicks to Carroll. Brooks on the double team. Russell against Brooks. Back to Carroll. The three. Rebound, Minnesota. Towns has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
He kicks to Crawford. The pass to Aldridge. There's the dish to Towns. Just 5 to shoot.
You know, Kevin, the Brooklyn Nets last season had the worst record in the league, just 20 wins. And, you know, having traded away their top draft picks from the last 2 drafts, there aren't any quick fixes on the horizon either.
The Timberwolves been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Yeah, in general, they've been very solid. I mean, free throw shooting isn't something they've had to worry about too much this season, guys.
Andre Hollis-Jefferson, he's checked in for the Nets. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Good on the second free throw.
Back in the 2010 draft, he was the 11th pick. Cole Aldridge's ceiling may be lower than people originally thought, but he's still a very solid role player.
Russell passes to Kilpatrick. Screened by Russell. Right wing from the arc. Nice D from Brooks. And Clark, how does a team keep the right frame of mind amidst the lean years?
Well, you have to really have a long-term horizon, but at the same time measure your progress and development. That's key there. And then you break it down quarter by quarter, possession by possession, day by day, week by week, month by month.
Poke loose. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
To the middle. Aldridge dishes to Towns. Back to Aldridge. That shot is no good, and he's 1 for 3 from the floor. Nets trail by 13. From deep, Brooks. But they'll get another chance. Butler kicks to Muhammad. There's the pick. Back to Butler. Tries again. And he sinks the layup. And the Timberwolves lead by 15.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Hollis-Jefferson, good.
And with the physical gifts that Hollis-Jefferson has, he plays a lot bigger than his listed height.
Aldridge in the post. Towns the screen. From the high post. Good as the jump shot falls. Towns has got 17 now.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Here's Russell, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. 11 points in the game.
Wow, that's real nice. I mean, D'Angelo really sets before he gets into his shot. Good use of pace there.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, their offense has really been productive this half, and I absolutely love the shots they've taken so far.
44 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Booker. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
He is in the zone. There's a reason he keeps getting the ball. They're feeding him because they trust him to lead their team.
Now here's Butler. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. Now Brooks. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. It's been an excellent game for him offensively. He's got 21 points and counting. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal. The first half was all about Karl Anthony Towns. He had 21 points, 4 assists, and 1 steal. His great performance last game out seemed to carry right over into tonight. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
And we're just about ready for the start.
Welcome back as we get a beautiful aerial view of the Williamsburg Bridge connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Here's Brooks. Carroll and Booker are your small and power forwards. Then it's Mozgov. And there's D'Angelo Russell. And it's Kilpatrick in at the shooting guard. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. We're about halfway through the season and a chance here to recap where all the teams in the West sit in the standings. You look at the Timberwolves. Quite a season they've assembled here, guys. Perched up there in first place and playing terrific basketball game in and game out. And checking out Golden State, sitting directly below them, just one spot down.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, they have caught the entire league off guard. This was not a position anyone thought they'd be in at this stage of the season.
And the credit belongs to them for what they did and didn't do during the offseason. I mean, they had a vision, they set it out, and they've stayed true to it.
Well, their passage to Towns doesn't get it to drop for him. Excellent D there from Mozgov. Passes to Kilpatrick. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Takes the three. Muhammad, no luck. Nets trail by 12. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Russell, 11 points in the game. Pass to Kilpatrick. Tipped away, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. I would take a look here at the shot chart for the Timberwolves.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the three ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
Now the feed to Russell. And the Nets, another three.
Yes, filling it up. Russell now shooting past his typical scoring pace.
Timberwolves leading by 9. Brooks dishes to Gibson to the inside. Towns is doubled. And the dunk by Towns.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
The Nets have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Outside, Russell. Here's Carroll, and Gibson sends it back.
And Gibson just out here to play hard defense, showing great awareness coming up there with that block.
And, you know, Kenny Atkinson is a basketball lifer, Kevin. Played professionally abroad, and after his playing career was over, he went right into coaching.
Mozgov, a screen on Muhammad. They get a hand on it, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. A nice shot by Booker.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
Brooks kicks to Gibson. Booker against Towns. Over Booker, and Towns the bucket on the assist by Gibson. Gibson's got 4 assists now tonight.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. And Clark, you've been a member of this booth and many others for quite some time. I've always wondered, how did you make the jump into broadcasting?
Oh, you know what? I've always enjoyed the game, Kevin, been a student of the game, and have enjoyed reading and playing with words. So when my basketball playing career ended prematurely back in 1987, I got a chance to do Pacers radio, and from there fell in love with this new career and wanted to excel at it. And I've been at it now for over 30 years and hope to have a few more left in front of me.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Dinwiddie's checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Tyus Jones, he's checked in for Aaron Brooks. Booker with the screen for Carroll. To the paint. Layup off the pick. And Booker with a nice bucket inside.
Nice concentration from the big man there. Rolling to the right place after setting the pick. That's well done.
Here's Towns. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Towns has got 8 points here in this quarter.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Russell with 14 points for him. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Mozgov, a screen on Muhammad. The shot by Carroll, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
Mozgov passes to Russell. Got a piece of it. Pass to Booker. Here's Dinwiddie. Good. And a nice assist from Booker.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the D just hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
Fires it up. Unable to get that one. Nice D from Russell. Nets trail by 12. Here's Dinwiddie. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Some high-scoring teams in the NBA. Let's see the leaders. The Timberwolves, number 1.
I mean, it's an exciting brand of basketball that they're playing. They've got such deadly weapons. Teams have had a heck of a time trying to slow them down.
Jones against Russell. Jones dishes to Towns. Good work there as it goes. Towns has got 12 points here in the second half.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Timberwolves passing it around. From outside, off the mark. The Nets have gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip.
Tell you what, Kevin, it would be helpful if he would start to contribute a little more on offense, because when he's missing, it makes it really hard for this team.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mozgov. So for the Nets, LeVert's checked in for DeMarre Carroll, and it's Whitehead in for D'Angelo Russell. Left side, Butler. He dishes it to Towns. Here's Muhammad. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Nets trail by 14. Here's Whitehead. From down in the low post, it goes. Whitehead's got 5 points so far. Minnesota's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Gibson feeds to Towns. Booker pulls it in. Booker's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. So the wing on the left. Here's Whitehead, the 11-footer. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Booker's got 9 points in the quarter.
And he's caught fire this quarter, yet to miss a shot.
Here's Towns. And he banks in the layup. And the Timberwolves lead by 12.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Here's Jones. Lays it in off the breakaway. Jones has got his 2nd basket. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Minnesota.
Defensively, they've played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Dishes it to Booker. Pulls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And one of the toughest parts about playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves is the travel schedule.
Yeah.
Clark, even interdivision games can involve lengthy flights, and the team travels more than any other in the NBA.
Yeah, and you know, everybody travels, and it is part of the league, but it is a small disadvantage for Minnesota to deal with. Not a big one, but nonetheless something unique to them as a team. Not much you can do about it, though. That's their lot, and they've got to make it work.
Towns is doubled. Kicks to Muhammad. Jacks up a 3. Rebounded by the Nets.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Whitehead passes to Dinwiddie. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Butler. He's putting up about 16 points a game, 6 assists, and just over 2 steals. And the numbers, while pretty outstanding, I mean, we've now come to expect that from this guy.
Completely in harmony with what his coach is trying to do there. Just a marvelous all-around talent.
Crawford kicks to Mahimi. And Mahimi with the stuff.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
They're going for the throat.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Poked away. Here's Dinwiddie. He's got 6. There's the pass to Whitehead. And the Nets, another 3.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Here's Jang, and finished off by Jang.
Tell you what, you got to give Butler credit. He's good at sensing when his guys are wide open, and he gets the ball to him right away.
Here's Dinwiddie. Passes it to LeVert. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Looking at the Timberwolves, let's see where they rank in the NBA statistics right now.
And you go back to their offense, the most explosive in the league. I mean, everyone talks about the great offense beating great defenses. And I tell you what, they make it difficult to hang with them.
And Karis LeVert enjoying a lot of playing time on a rebuilding Nets team, Clark. What did he show you?
A little bit of everything. I thought he had a chance to be a really good pro. He's got an excellent assist-to-turnover ratio for a young guy. Sees over the top because of his size. Doesn't try to do too much. Unselfish, smart, good work ethic. All of that stacks up to long-time, impactful pro.
Here's Dinwiddie, defended by Jones. Knocks it loose. Shot clock at 6. And Jones over to help. Dinwiddie off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Now here's Jones. He's guarded closely. On the wing, Jones. Jang dishes to Mahimi. Jones, the pass to Jang. He feeds it to Mahimi. Lucky 7 drops in. He's perfect from the floor. 7 for 7.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Minnesota making a switch here. Brooks checked in. Here's Whitehead. 8 points for him. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Kilpatrick passes to Hollis Jefferson. Here's Whitehead. Brooks covering. Clock at 4. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Whitehead's got 10 points.
He's really a reserved and quiet guy, but he'll do anything to help his team. Mozgov with the monster screen.
And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Brooks kicks to Zhang. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got assist number 7 for him tonight.
And when you get this kind of shooting from him, 100% from the field, they're going to be tough to beat.
Out left to the wing. From 13. Rebound, Minnesota. Zhang's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Butler kicks to Zhang. Makes it off the glass. Zhang's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Here's the break. Here's Brooks. They grab their own miss. It's good on the putback. And the Timberwolves lead by 15.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Here's Whitehead. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And here's the break. Brooks outside. He kicks it to Zhang. Outside Butler. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. There's the dish to Zhang. Shoots over Mozgov. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Knocked away. Here's LeVert. Pass to Kilpatrick. Jimmy Butler comes up with the rebound.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. After a fantastic quarter, he's sitting on a double-double. And there's nowhere to go but up for him. Back to the action after this word.
Yeah. T.Y., what up? Ali, what up? Yeah.
Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Keep the ball moving. Quick decisions. Get the ball.
Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Nets trail by 15 on the court for Minnesota. Jimmy Butler is out there with Brooks. Then there's Muhammad. Then it's Gorgui Dieng. And it's Mahimi in at the center.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Brooks dishes to Mahimi. Fires top of the key. And that one comes up a bit short. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting an outstanding 53% for the game. Russell with a wide open look. There's Hollis Jefferson. And the rejection by Zhang. He gets it in there. Timberwolves leading by 13. The feed to Muhammad. Pass to Mahimi. The shot missing. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game, and that will be the third of 5 straight played at home. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, GA. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Carroll against Muhammad. Shot clock at 6. And there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That will be foul number 5 on him. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Russell against Brooks. Shot clock at 5. Russell passes to Kilpatrick. From deep three-point range. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
Jeez, maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Is that what you think?
Absolutely.
Instead, it had the opposite effect. He looked foolish.
Oh, fellas, that was a vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one.
Well, guys, I'm glad they didn't try because I don't want anybody to get hurt out there.
And here's Carroll. A three-pointer, no good.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Lets it go from deep. Knocks down the 3-ball.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
Here's Butler. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Hey, you got it like that aggressiveness of Butler. I mean, slicing inside and finishing with the dunk. Come on now. That's well done.
Nets trail by 14. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Russell kicks to Mozgov. Good on the shot. Mozgov's got 4 this quarter.
The defense is there, but Mozgov's size is a difference maker in everything he does, including that play.
Feeds to Jang. He dishes it to Aldrich. Back to Jang. He makes his 10th basket of the night from the field. He has missed on 3 this game only.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, the game comes so naturally to him, easily. I mean, helping to expand their lead as they try to close this one out, he's doing it.
The drive by Russell. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
Tremendous balance by Russell. Takes on contact, finishes the play. We'll see if he can get the and one at the line.
Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Hollis Jefferson. Minnesota also with the sub. Taj Gibson's checked in for Cole Aldrich. The title of best dunker is one that seems to change, Clark, from year to year in the NBA. Who's on your short list for that honor right now?
Well, there are a lot of ways you can look at that, Kevin. The best dunker, is it the most sweet-looking dunker? Is it the most forceful dunker? Is it the dunker that can do it in a game or in a contest? There are a lot of different branches on this dunk tree. But for me, looks, creativity, elevation, Zach LaVine comes to the top of the list. The big guys, I kind of eliminate a little bit. So I go with Zach LaVine in the dunk meter. Unfortunately, his shot has been everywhere, all over the place. Can't buy a basket. However, his teammates got him covered.
There's Russell with the 3, and again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And he's finally getting the feel from beyond. His second 3 of the half right there.
Dishes to Gibson. Down low. Here's Jang. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean
that
was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around. Whoa! Watch out now! Yeah, good work ethic on display from Mozgov. Staying active, making an impact on the offensive board.
Jang, high post. Mozgov on him. Jang dishes to Gibson. No good that time. Good D by Booker. To the inside. Kilpatrick. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. And now just a 4-point Minnesota lead.
Already one of the league's more creative assist men. Russell making people around him better.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 8 of 14 from the floor here in the fourth quarter. Carroll kicks to Mozgov. The Nets working the ball around now. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Jang. Here's Booker, and he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
And, Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. Muhammad with the steal. It's tipped. Now here's Brooks. Gibson down low. Mozgov on him. No good from Gibson.
And, you know, that's an easy one. You can't miss these shots. Those are makeable shots, especially when the defense isn't on its game.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Hits the three-point bomb.
And you've got to give them a lot of credit for just battling back into this game.
Extremely impressive was the rally they made. I mean, we'll see how much their comeback might have taken out of them, and we'll see if they can keep that foot on the pedal now.
And there it is for him. Gibson's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance. And he has to take that long, slow walk back to the bench here. He'll watch the rest of this one from the sideline.
Minnesota making a switch here. Jones is checked in.
You know, a decent free throw shooter at this point in his career. D'Angelo has the natural stroke, I think, to become one of the league's best. Shoots it very fluidly and easily.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
Carroll passes to Mozgov. Here's Kilpatrick, defended by Gibson. Good on the three-point shot. Kilpatrick's got 5 points now this quarter.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
Muhammad, no luck.
Tell you what, the defense has nothing to worry about out there with him shooting. I mean, you can't dial it in from deep this half at all.
Russell with it. Jones covering. A floater, and there's the pass to Kilpatrick. Good, and a nice assist from Booker. Booker's got 3 assists now in this one.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
And knocking down a bunch of them, too. Outstanding shooting in this fourth quarter.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands and down.
Poked loose and stolen by Butler. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Towns. Lays it up and banks it in. Towns has got 41.
Yeah, terrific scoring effort from Towns here tonight, Kevin. When he gets on a roll like this, very, very difficult to slow him down.
Here's Gibson. And the dunk by Towns.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Boy, it sure could, Kevin. I mean, he salvaged 2 big points for them off that miss.
Brooklyn with the ball. Down low, Gibson with the steal. And pushing it up again is Minnesota. Again in transition. Tries again. And Towns lays it in. Towns has got 45 points.
And, you know, he's been their go-to guy. Smart at knowing what shots to take, when to take them. plays with really perfect pace.
And there's the call on Shabazz Muhammad. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And he makes the first.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunity.
LeVert's checked in for the Nets. Minnesota also with the sub. George's Hunt is checked in. Shots good by Gibson.
And, you know, Butler has gotten better as a distributor every season he's been in the league. That's impressive. He's become more and more skilled at finding ways to get his teammates going.
Muhammad with the steal. Goes up. Carroll with the rebound.
You rarely see him missing dunk, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Here's Muhammad, and Muhammad throws it down.
And, you know, in this example of changing ends of the floor, this is where you can see the improvements in Muhammad's diet and conditioning really coming to the fore.
Picked by Mozgov, and there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot two. That free throw, no good.
And LeVert, the Ohio native, has a ton of potential, folks. A tall, lanky shooting guard with really good playmaking ability.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Jones is checked in. Here's Butler, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. And now an 8-point Timberwolves lead.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kill, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
Blazing speed on display from Butler. Superb at finding a way to get behind the defense in transition and taking what he gets.
Picked by Mozgov. Muhammad against Carroll. And the shot goes down.
And usually Carroll will stay beyond the arc. That time stepping in for the basket.
Gibson against Mozgov. And Gibson kicks to Towns. Here's Butler. And the dunk by Towns.
And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play, the board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Timberwolves.
And one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, your aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
I think it sparked their offense. It deflates the opposition. And when you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's pretty hard to overcome that defensive pressure down the stretch.
And this will push their record to 39 wins and a good effort tonight.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game one has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Karl Anthony Towns.
And, you know, he was really important today. Integral, taking and making shots time and time again. And the Nets' decision to go all in for a title, much scrutinized, and rightly so. I mean, you've got to respect the financial commitment, and at the time, an NBA record for payroll didn't quite pan out the way they hoped.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Mahimi's checked in for Towns. Aldridge comes in for Taj Gibson. Bielitsa, he checks in for Shabazz Muhammad. And it's Crawford in for Jimmy Butler. Dinwiddie kicks to AC. Pass to Dinwiddie. And the foul called on Tyus Jones. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
And that was the last thing they needed. Now the clock is stopped, and they put them on the line.
Yeah, and I'm confident Coach was reminding everybody, don't foul at the start of that possession. Obviously, he didn't get the message.
And for the Nets back in 2013-14, the new luxury tax structure resulted in record losses for the franchise. $144 million. That's a lot in a single season.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros, Kevin. More than 10 times the next closest team at the time. So that's not a list you want to be on. Ownership now showing a little more discipline and restraint, even looking to sell almost half the team to spread those future costs.
Crawford, no one around him. And another three for Minnesota.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching.